In this video, we're going to be looking at the changes made in the forecast dialog box for PTF. We'll look at MPTF in a subsequent video. So in this one, we're going to open the triangle group ABC, open the model M6, for instance, and just open the forecast dialog box. Okay, so you'll see now that we've made a number of changes to this dialog box. We've got the reserving and pricing periods has been condensed down to one group, and the result is that the last accident period can be extended to be within the triangle, so before this bold number, which is the last number in the triangle, or after the last accident year, which is then a future or pricing year. Okay, and as soon as you select a pricing period, you get the options to include future exposures and future premiums, and by default we will generate the combined forecast. We don't actually have the option anymore to select it, it's just always on by default. So I'll just change that back. We also have the ability now in version 11 to select calendar periods. So it must be a contiguous set of calendar periods, but otherwise the same principle applies, and we can change it to be either further in than the first calendar period or earlier than the last calendar period. More useful is restricting the last calendar period. For instance, you might have a reinsurance policy that applies to all policies after the next 10 calendar years, for instance, in which case you might want to do Solvency II calculations and other calculations for the reserves and etc., restricting your forecast to a subset of future calendar years. We've also got the option of conditioning based on multiple calendar periods now. We can extend this up. We're going to cover that shortly in another example. But if I just complete the forecast for now, starting in 1990, you now notice that the diagonals of the forecast start in the calendar years going to complete the triangle. You get the whole distribution. And the cells that we haven't forecasted for have been replaced by these blank cells. So you can quickly see which cells have been forecasted for in the table, and you can run all the normal things after the forecast like PALD, reinsurance, etc. Let's just look at one other example, and we're going to look at the triangle group in the workbook C uneven. Okay, this is a year by quarter data set, begins in the third quarter, ends in the third quarter. Let's just open this, and because I don't actually have an existing model, I'm just going to quickly run the wizard. Alright, now in this example we're going to look at the conditioning on multiple years, because that's more likely to be the time that you actually use that. So what you'll see in the dialog box when the model finishes, here we go. Alright, so if we open the forecast, we can condition based on more than one calendar period, and in year versus quarter, we probably want to condition on the next 4 quarters, so a whole year. We can do that calculation, and the result of that is that these columns here, conditional on the next 4 calendar period, now gives the result of the conditional statistics, but instead of restricting ourselves to one future period, we've now got the whole 4 calendar periods. Incidentally, we have relabeled these slightly to be clearer with what the statistical definition actually is of the expectation of the standard deviation of the ultimate given the data versus the standard deviation of the expectation of the ultimate given the data. These are explained in more detail on our website. Alright, this concludes this short video, just detailing those forecast updates in the dialog box. Thank you.